So one of the hardest part about boundaries is not what we usually think it is, and I'm going to explain that. But first, my name's Andrea. I'm a therapist and a boundaries educator, and I help people break people-pleasing patterns and work on boundaries with themselves and others and relationships from the nervous system, because that's where everything starts. So we often think that setting the boundary and communicating it and even knowing what to say is the hardest part. And it is difficult, don't get me wrong. But the hardest part is actually maintaining the boundary after we've set it and when people really start to push back. And it doesn't always mean that people are jerks just because they're pushing back on our boundaries sometimes. But a lot of times it's where we've changed something in the dynamic and now they have to make an adjustment. They have to shift something, and that might be inconvenient or uncomfortable. We've basically shifted the status quo. Okay, we've changed the dance steps and now it's a little wonky. And so there's an adjustment period because we become acclimatized to what's normal. So we're breaking the rhythm and people don't like that. So just like our nervous system doesn't like change, neither do other people's. And so when we start to set those boundaries, then people may push back. And that pushback can bring up feelings of guilt. We can start doubting ourselves and thinking, am I really doing what's right? Is it really okay? Especially if we've received messaging throughout our life that, there is no room for our needs or our feelings. So giving ourselves that permission in the first place to take up some space and set a boundary or hold a line of no, and change the rhythm and the status quo in a relationship, we can often feel like we're the cause of the chaos that comes from that, or we're the cause of the discomfort, and we're becoming a problem now. And we can even be positioned that way by the other person. And this can cause us to waver on our boundaries. But that inconsistency is going to be problematic because all it does, if we're inconsistent, is give the other person or people a new threshold to try to push through next time. So maintaining the boundary is really, really important. Now, it's important, but it's not necessarily easy because that pushback brings up a lot of things. And honestly, it can sometimes just be so exhausting. It is like parenting and having a child throw a tantrum when they're not getting their way and throw a bigger tantrum and a bigger one. And then sometimes it's just so much easier as a parent to just give in, but we know what that creates. Okay, it creates its own kind of monster where, again, it just gives them a new threshold to push to next time. So inconsistency is going to be a really big beast to slay down the road if we don't maintain that. So just because there's pushback, just because there's exhaustion, doesn't mean that it's going to be easier to give in. In the moment, yes, but down the road, it's not sustainable. And that's why you got to this place in the first place. So just remember, it's not necessarily setting it, it's maintaining it. But maintenance is one of the most important parts about boundaries.